Okay, now it's live. All right, what's up, guys? It's Casey, the Rockstarflipper. It's Thursday night. How's everybody doing? We are live, and we are here with Megan Reed. And sorry about that, I didn't mute the sound. She is live with us from California. Say hi, Megan.
Hi, everyone.
There she is.
How's it going?
And I'm gonna give everybody 5 or 10 minutes to at least 5 minutes to get into the chat here with us, so everybody has a chance to join us. I know we just got started, and I want as many people as I can to come in here and check us out. So we'll just give everybody a few minutes, but make sure if you're here that our sound sounds good, the video looks good. Make sure everything is good to go. If you have any problems with that, please let us know. And if you guys are in the chat, that one wife in Paris is actually me, because I have to be on a different one. That's me right there. So you know it's me responding. It never fails. It never fails when I start live videos that those two go crazy. Guys, stop. They know when I'm going live, I swear. Paul is here. Finally caught a live show. What's up, Paul? How you doing? Everything sounds good. Tom says hi, Chewy. Yeah, couldn't have guessed that was Chewy. I guess everybody knows the sound is working fine now because those two. I think that was UPS because UPS said they just delivered me a package, and I definitely didn't hear anything. And I swear I just heard a box flop against my door. So I'm pretty sure that was UPS. Which, thanks a lot for delivering a package at 9 p.m. UPS. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to do, tonight's video is going to be a little bit about eBay listings and keywords, and basically optimizing your listings to be at the top of the search rankings, to bring in as much traffic as you can, because obviously more traffic means more potential sales. And there's nobody really, at least in women's clothing, better at it than Megan. I follow her a lot, and I see a lot of her items that she sells, and so I know that she's really good at keywords and a lot better at it with women's clothing. So we'll give everybody a few more minutes to get in. Whoa, we already are at 91 people. Holy jeez.
I'm trying to get into the chat, but my computer is freezing, and I'm trying to open it.
Yeah, sometimes you have to refresh it. David, how you doing? Nelson from Jersey. Wifey and I are here. Chase the Dream 717, including the Wrecking Crew. I think that was just the Wrecking Crew saying hello, because they have to always let everybody know they're here. So yeah. But,
okay.
Wow, we're almost at 100 people, and literally 30 seconds. You have to click on the live chat, and that's how you get to comment. Yep.
Whoa, now it went to full screen. Yeah. Okay.
So
I got it. It's just buffering a lot, so I might not be able to see the chat.
Okay, Nate and Sarah here. I'll tell you if anybody asks a question from the chat. You can open it on your phone, too, if you want.
I guess that's
Nate and Sarah, both wifey, are there, husband and wife, but it's usually just Nate. From Maine is the Veggie Picker. Johnny Rentis is in Florida with me. And Josh is a longtime viewer. He doesn't get to catch live, but a lot of you missed the live show. I try to time it. A lot of you asked for it to be after dinner time on the East Coast, so that's what I try to time it. Sylvia is in California. What part of California, Sylvia? DS Smack. Pat Doodles is in Georgia. Veggie Picker. Brandon is in Maine as well. Austin, Texas. Everywhere. All the way across the country. So that's pretty crazy. Always a lot of Texas people. Darcy's in Woodlands, Texas. And San Antonio is West Child.
Do you have to be in the YouTube app to look at the chat, or is it just...
No, just on the YouTube website you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, because I'm on it, but there's no chat on it, even though there's a video.
It should be on the right-hand side if you're on the live one.
Oh, okay, it just popped up.
Yeah. Jason, Goodwill Bin is at all Goodwill. No, Andre, the Goodwill Bin is just the outlet store. You can Google up their locations and find a location near you. They're not in every city, though. Jason is in Georgia. I guess he lost power from the storm. You're still out of power? She doesn't need another browser to see it, Brandon. That's only for the person hosting it. That's me. I had to go to another browser to see it. I think she should be able to. Texas Thrifters is here. How you doing, guys? Texas is the only place to be. I think I'm figuring that out. Between Texas and California, you'll all have the best buying and thrifting stuff. And I don't. I mean, I have a lot of locations, so compared to some people, I guess I have it better. But, we're over 100 people, so we're going to jump into questions. I didn't expect to get this many people that quick. I think we only had 110 last week total, so that's crazy. Brian is asking about getting clothes off of Craigslist, like buying them or consigning them. I used to do that for other items. I've never bought clothing locally off of customers. I've only bought it in stores. I don't know. I guess there's like a lot of people, like college kids, that sell a lot of clothing. Like the girls will sell like a huge bag of Abercrombie or Express or whatever clothes they have. Maybe you could get a deal if you bought the whole bag for like $20 or something. I don't know how that would work, but you can get the same amount of clothes at the bins. So I don't know if it'd be worth the time. You'd have to check into it and let me know how that works. John is in Vancouver, Canada. First one from Canada. Preston says that Texas Goodwill outlets, there's only 4 or 5 in the entire state. So. Sam, pay attention to this video. Megan is going to go over all of the things you need to do to make your listings go higher and get more sales. And in fact, we're going to start right now. A lot of you probably haven't seen Megan before, so I just wanted to introduce herself and tell us a little bit about what she does and how she does it, and that way you guys get to know her a little better. So I will leave it to Megan now, since I've done all the talking.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, my name's Megan, and I am 22. I live in California. I live fairly close to the LA area, so that is why I'm able to find like a lot of great brands. I do mostly shop at the Goodwill bins right now because I'm just trying to really build my inventory and spend as less money as possible in the beginning when I'm still trying to branch out. I mean, I don't mind spending $5-6 on an item if I know it's going to sell for, you know, triple or quadruple my money. But right now, I've just been sticking to the bins. And a little background on myself. I did used to do YouTube, and I was a stylist before I got into YouTube, so that's background has definitely helped me a lot. And a lot of equipment I've already had, like I guess you guys had asked about my mannequin. I just use a basic dress form. It's nothing special. I got it when I would style clothing and things like that, and I spray painted it. A more neutral color. If you get a mannequin as a crazy print, it can be really contrasting with the clothing and lighting and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
That's true. Having the background, I definitely think that helps because all the stuff that she does on eBay is not anything that I knew about or would have done on my own that I haven't learned from somebody that had that experience. So it definitely helped having that background, which is why I tell you guys to watch other YouTubers, which I linked Megan's YouTube channel down there if you guys want to check her out after this video. Or she's got some older videos. She's back on YouTube, so keep an eye out for her in the next coming weeks and months for more videos. But you can learn a lot from people like her, and that's why I tell you guys, don't just stick with one person. Make sure to check everybody out. So definitely want to watch people with experience. Speaking of, since you just started this year, what have you gone from since beginning of the year? Now we're in fourth quarter.
I started out making my first month. I did about $200 in sales, and now I'm doing about $5,000 in sales. I was doing it very part time, January to about August, and then I started taking it really seriously. I went from basic store to premium store, setting a schedule for myself and getting a set amount of listings up every single day. I can't stress how important it is to list every single day, even if it's just relisting, and that's why I do 30-day items and I don't do good till canceled, because even if I'm just relisting to eBay, it looks like a fresh new listing, and it brings traffic to my store.
How much in the first month? Everybody's hearing a little bit of static. I'm not sure. Let me try one on second. See if this will fix it.
A fan or something? Do you have a fan on?
No, I don't have a fan on. I'm gonna plug in this set of headphones and see if this helps. If this doesn't help, then sorry guys, but give me just a second. Always something with the sound. Hang on. I gotta change the mic. Give me just a second.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay, did that help any? Can you guys hear me? Hopefully that helps some. Casey's secretly at the beach, baller. Yeah, I wish. Much better. Way better. That did it. Okay. All right, so we fixed that. Now I know how to fix it. Okay. So somebody said I must be at the beach, like that's like the wind blowing or something. Yeah, not a chance. Brenda says, where do you source from? Goodwill outlets mainly in LA, I guess. Everybody said I was echoing. Yeah, we got rid of the echo. Whew, thank God.
Yeah, I mostly go to the Goodwill outlet. It's pretty much only a 10-minute drive from my house, so I'm able to go often. And I go right when it opens, and I only spend an hour and a half there. I really don't like to be there longer than that, just because I like to have the rest of my day to get listings or clean items or just do the rest of the part of eBay besides sourcing. Because I am a one-person business, so I have to do everything myself. I can't hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, I had it fixed and then it went away. I don't know what happened. I think everybody here, a lot of people are the one-man show. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have the luxury that I have of having people to list, but you'll grow there. When you are a one-person show, though, being able to get to bins or locations as close as you can is best. I know a lot of people say that they have to drive an hour and a half or 2 or 3 hours, which I can't even imagine. That must be like super tough, especially if it's like one way rather than round trip. To be able to get back as a one-person show and list and clean and photograph and prep and do all that stuff takes hours. So you can't be out driving for 3 or 4 hours. I don't know how these people do it, but it's crazy. Sarah wants to know how many listings you usually have. You can tell them how many you have active versus how many a day.
I try to do 30 items a day, and if I don't do 30 items a day, sometimes I won't get as much as I want, but I'll try to make up for it the next day, so it balances out. And right now I have about a little over 700 items up in my store.
And how many items a day do you think you're shipping?
I'm averaging about 10, and then on the weekends, I do about like 30 or 40 right now. It's been getting bigger and bigger because I've been listing more and more. That's
really good. For only having 700 items, that's better percentage sale through rates than most of the people I talk to, and even myself most days. I have 1,600 and probably shipping about 15 to 20. So I would imagine when you get to 1,600, you'll be at like 25.
Yeah, and I know once I double the listings in the store, I'll probably double what I'm making. So that is pretty much my goal.
Yeah. And that's a direct correlation to what we're going to get into in the next few questions. How that sale through rate is so high. Why Megan's listings sell faster than what we would expect for normal people. And it's all to do with the quality of the listings, the keywords, and the titles, which is going to bring us to the next part. A lot of you guys ask questions about how to make your listings stand out, how to get them in front of people, how to make more sales, and all those things. So it starts with having quality products, which means good brands. A lot of people in chat are asking, what do you look for when you go? So tell us a little bit about what you look for, brands, styles, that sort of thing.
It's always different. I mean, hope you were saying stuff about your mic.
A lot of mic noise? Sound is really bad?
Yeah. It's rubbing against something, I think.
Seriously? Okay.
Well, honestly, I do look for brands, but I just, like, again, being back to a stylist and being young and I know it's trendy, I honestly don't always really pay attention to brands. Like, if I think it's cute, like, I'll sell something from Target for $30 because I think that a girl will be willing to pay that amount. And with the right keywords, they'll be able to find it. And I do best offer and I do run sales, so I'm not worried about if I priced it too high or not because I do offer best offer and sales. So I'm not really, I don't know. I know a lot of people get stuck on what to price things at, but I don't. I just price high and hope for the best.
And that's like something that I had a trouble learning because I used to only go for like brands. Like I used to strictly I would flip through the racks or throw stuff and I'd be like, oh, Target brand, Walmart brand, cheap mall brand. I would just throw it and I didn't realize that it's not necessarily the brands. The brand is important, but it's a style, it's a trend, it's a fashion, it's all those things coupled together. So you have to get an eye for those things. And one of the quickest ways to learn those things is literally to just go through, I mean, I know a lot of you don't have the sourcing app, which is awesome on eBay now, but just to go through eBay listings and search for just random stuff, and you will find a lot of sold items that are cute, and you can see that some of it might sell for $10 and some of it's selling for 20 or 30, and you can start learning what sells for those higher prices. So
Yeah.
that's one of the good ways to learn, by looking at other people.
I also don't get rid of inventory. Like, I see a lot of people say, like, oh, if it doesn't sell fast enough. Honestly, if I took the time to list it and put it away and do all this work, I will just wait until it sells. Like, I will not take anything down. Even if I'm breaking even, like, I will just wait. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. A lot of people ask me about how long till I donate or get rid of something. I have items that are 6 months, 8 months, a year old. I mean, I sold an item a couple days ago that was, I think we figured out I paid a quarter for it. It sold for $12. I started it at 20. I let it sit for a month or two, and I dropped it to 18 and then 15, and ended up selling for 12. But when you have a quarter in something, or even 50 cents or $1 or $2, there's no reason to just get rid of inventory. It may sell. You want to build that inventory up. So hold out for that profit margin, but definitely a good idea. You guys have seen, and I keep stressing it, learn from other sellers and learn what they're selling and that stuff. I made a video all about stalking eBay sellers, as bad as that sounds. So,
Well, I definitely think instead of just stalking their eBay, I think you should get on Instagram. Like, I can't believe how big of a deal like Instagram has even helped me starting out, because I barely got an Instagram like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and even that has helped increase my sales a lot, because it's very motivating. People post their numbers. People are really open on Instagram. They post the tags. You can physically see the tags of what brands they're buying. Even if you can't necessarily remember the brand name, you can look at the tags, and when you see that tag, you can remember to pick it up. And I just really love Instagram so much.
Yeah, that's something I've been doing more lately too. I find more information on Instagram even sometimes than eBay. If you go to Instagram, you can just search the hashtags with all the keywords.
Hashtags.
Yeah, I use a lot of the tags in Instagram. So if you follow me, and you can follow Megan's Instagram as well, I'll link it. But you can follow the hashtags like the clothing brands. You can follow the word thrift and thrifting, reseller, resale. A lot of those keywords will bring you to other sellers and what they're moving. And a lot of people religiously post every day, so you'll get a ton of good ideas out of them for sure. Instagram, that's like one of the best tips. Let me read what some of these people are asking up here. What is your gross per sale average? Mine is lower. Mine is, what do we figure? Mine was at like $19 or $20.
Yeah, my average sale price right now is like $27, $28.
Yeah, so she's got a much higher. She's just really good at picking those brands and getting a better price for them. Great. Now I don't feel bad about stalking me, Nelson. Can stalk me for sure. Love Letters and Lace is already on your Instagram, says she loves it. What tips do you have on what not to do at the Goodwill outlets? Oh my God, I could go on about that forever.
Well, I mostly go through clothes. Like, hard goods are kind of secondary to me. And I've been to other bins before, just one other bin. Mine is pretty relaxed. I'm a regular there, and there's a few other girls who are regulars there, and we're all kind of friends. There's not a lot of fighting going on. Like, sometimes we'll both grab something. We just kind of look at each other, and someone will let go. It's not a big deal. It's not, like, violent or anything. But now sometimes they've been having help. Like, they mostly do swap meets, like most of the people at my bins. So if I just see a print or a style I like, I don't have really time to even look at the tag. So I'll just grab everything, put it in my cart, and within like 20 minutes, I'll go through it and put it back out so my cart isn't getting full with things I don't want. I'm just constantly checking. For holes and stuff too, that's something I'm trying to get better at, like damage control, because it's really frustrating when you put time into drafting something and you go to take a picture and the lighting just highlights every flaw. And sometimes I'll have like 5 items in a row that I didn't catch on, and it can be frustrating. Just damage control for sure at the bins.
How do you store your inventory? Everybody knows I store mine in a bunch of bins, and some of them are hanging up
I store mine in bins too. I got them from Walmart. They're not clear either. I know some people prefer clear bins.
Yes.
I just have regular bins. They have a number or a letter. I don't have everything marked. Like, I just know what bin it is. And since I'm doing everything myself, it's not hard to just go in the bin and find it. I've never mixed up an item or lost anything. So I'm pretty organized.
Clear bins are your friend. Trust me. I use them. Outdoor Wrangler said, when setting a price, what % do you figure for fees? Well, we just, right as we were about to click the live button, we discussed that. Mine is at 25%, but because Megan has a little higher of a sale price, average sale price, she's a little higher. So she's given out about 30% net. So 70% of her sale is what she pockets. That doesn't include cost of goods, but our cost of goods is super cheap. So
yeah, my eBay fees are a little bit higher than Casey's just because my selling price is higher, so eBay takes more money. If that makes sense.
Yeah, the higher your sale price, the more fees they're going to take, of course. So that's why her percentage is a little higher than mine, but you should try to stay in that 25 to 30% is probably normal. I've heard some people like 45%, which is incredible to me. I think it has a little bit to do with not having top rated as well. So people at my bins are aggressive and unfriendly. I get in, stay low, and get out. That's true at a lot of places. There was a huge fight at my bins not too long ago, which is hilarious. I wish I could record it for you guys. I swear I'm going to buy one of those little, those little button cameras that you like put in your button and record when I'm at the bins. I'm going to catch something good, I promise. Oh, here's a really good question, Idaho Fall Picker. Do you only sell on eBay? Other marketplaces, which we all talk about, Poshmark and all those, do you use those? And if so, what do you have?
I do have a Poshmark. It is on my Instagram, if Casey links it. But I go back and forth. I do want to work on that more, but right now, since I do make more money from eBay, I'm just trying to put all my energy into that right now because I feel like I've outlived my space that I'm in. I have too much inventory now, and I need to get into a bigger space, and then I could start worrying about other platforms. But for now, all my time is into eBay right now.
Yeah.
But I do have Poshmark.
Yeah, the outliving your inventory storage space, which is becoming true for me too. I'm saving your Instagram just so everybody can see it. I'm saving it down in the description box. It should go live there in just a second. Excuse me. But the outliving your inventory space is bad. Like, there's so much stuff you want to buy or so many things you want to do, and you just got to think about storage and organization. And
yeah, because I'm getting into shoes now. I love listing shoes. I kind of am starting to prefer shoes, but shoes are a lot harder to store than clothes. So I really don't even have the space for that. And I've been getting a lot more shoes at the outlet. So I'm starting to run into that problem. But
I've been in that problem for a while. I've wanted to buy a new house with like a detached office. I don't know, something, but there's so much stuff that I want to do. And you got to think about that as a seller. You know, how much space do you have for sure? How many hours do you think you work being a person, or how much should a person do? A lot. I don't know how much Megan works, but I work all day, every day.
I mean, I'm kind of a perfectionist too, and I'm just starting out, and this is my first year doing it, so I feel like I'm constantly putting time into it and constantly learning. Like, I'm always doing something eBay related, 24/7. I feel like.
Yeah, even if you're not directly listing or working, you're always looking at your phone, responding to messages or offers, or just everything, or like printing labels, packing stuff, out buying materials. Just a lot of other work that's involved. So be prepared. Even though you're giving up a life, if you go full time, of having to answer to somebody, you are going to have to put the hours in. There's no lying about what it takes to be a full time. Until you build up and you get bigger and have employees, you're responsible. You're the one that makes it happen. So let's go down the rest of the questions that I had here. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is the important one. How do you get your items to the top of eBay in front of people and get the most money for them? Give us the top things, the tips that make that happen.
I mean, I think that obviously the number one thing is keywords, because that's how people get your listing in front of you, and then the picture is what makes people click on your listing. Those two combined, I feel like, is pretty much the most important thing. And I made a list of keywords. Casey should have linked it below. There's like over 100 words that I created. Well, I didn't create them, but I made a list for you guys in alphabetical order. And those are words that I use every single day to create listings. For women's,
oh, go ahead.
It's basically mostly around women's clothing, the keywords I've made into a list.
And I link those below. You'll see it. It says eBay keywords. And again, Megan's primarily a woman's clothing seller. So for those of you that want to sell guys' clothes or other things, you can, again, look those up on Instagram, look up brands, look up all that stuff, and you will learn what to sell. Somebody asked in the chat how you use Instagram to help your eBay business. Basically, and I'll start this, Instagram is full of other resellers like us who take pictures of the items that we buy and sell, if you've never been on my Instagram. And you can see the items. We give you the same thing we put in these videos, but in pictures while we're out in town buying items, and or after we sell the item, you know, hey, paid $2 for this, sold it for 20. So you learn that that's an item you should keep an eye out for. And so then when you learn that item, you can search for that item. Like let's say Megan sold a Louis Vuitton purse. I'm just throwing something out there. You could search for Louis Vuitton and you would find everybody else that maybe has sold Louis Vuitton purses, and you would learn what to look for, or express clothes, or whatever it is. And then you would you'd learn a lot. You can learn a lot of brands and items that way.
Yeah. And also, I was talking to you about how you can do searches on eBay, like either a price range or within like a 50-mile radius of your zip code, and find out what other people are selling in your area and what people are looking for, or just do like a price range, like a $50 to $80 price range, like women's tops, to see what brands are selling for that price range.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's all about research. And I know this is, some people hate this. I used to hate research, but now it's kind of fun for me, like going on other people's channels, looking at what they bought and sold, looking at their prices, and then taking the items that I learned from them and doing what you just said, looking up, you know, what price ranges they sell for, or which brands are in that price range that are similar. I love doing it now. So everybody is asking for your Instagram and YouTube. They are down in the description box below. If you don't see them, please tell me, but I see them on my screen. So the description box is below your live. Where you see us in the video, go down below it, and you should have a little drop down. So here's a good question from JP Work Ops. Who's your inspiration, Megan, and are there other sellers that you follow or learn from?
Yeah, I have. They're basically other women sellers, of course. The Posh Hanger, she's a big motivation to me because she's also a one-person business. I'm sure some of you guys know Nicole. I really look up to her because I started watching her videos right when I started out in January. So she was kind of like the only person I had to look up to and figure out what I'm doing with eBay, especially when I was first starting out. And now that I have Instagram, I'm pretty much obsessed. I'm on there day and night. People post their hauls. People post haul videos on there. I mean, they can be short little haul videos, but they do, and it's just people picked up because you get excited about something. If it's a really rare find, and people just love sharing stuff, and that's where I get most of my inspiration.
Yeah, and that's why before all that stuff existed, I hated researching stuff. But now, because of Instagram and YouTube and everything, I love looking up stuff and learning from other people. I like seeing other people's stuff. So Nicole is great. Nicole's awesome. Nicole has a really good channel. She's full of a lot of knowledge. Nicole sells a lot of stuff. She's doing really, really well. A lot of people look up to her. She's genuine. She's legitimate, unlike a lot of people. So I don't have a problem with Nicole. We don't see eye to eye on some things, but Nicole's a really great seller. And if you haven't checked out her channel, definitely go check it out. Nicole State, S-T-A-T-E. You'll find her pretty quick. You just spell it just like that. Nicole State, it's 2 words, S-T-A-T-E. Or you can look up State's Place. I think you'll find her as well. So either way, but she's definitely somebody you can learn from. And if you have never seen her, she sells a lot of women's clothes as well. How long did it take you to decide to go full-time, Megan?
I I feel like I could have started doing it full time in January if I wasn't being lazy, to be honest. But I knew that I needed to take it seriously and that I didn't want to have another job that I didn't like. I was about to become a server, actually. That's honestly what made me decide to go full time. I was about to be a server at Red Robin, and I was like, what am I doing? This is going to take so much time away from eBay, and I've been growing, and it's about to be the holidays. Is this really a decision I want to make? And I decided to quit, which was really hard for me because it was really hard to get that job. But I'm really happy with the decision I made.
I would be, for sure. I would have never did I couldn't work the regular job. It's just not for me. Some people just aren't built for that stuff.
Yeah.
What was the initial investment, including your materials like scales, printers, shipping?
The first two things I needed right off the bat was a printer because I didn't even have a regular printer to begin with. So I bought a thermal printer off eBay that had a warranty, and it came with 1,000 labels, and that was about $170. So it was kind of, a decent investment, and I think it was going to last me many years to come. It works great. And I also got a scale, so I can just weigh things and do my shipment.
Yep. The scale.
Other than that.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish. You can go.
But other than that, supplies and stuff like polymailers, those are cheap. I've kind of upscaled my polymailers. I get floral ones from U-Pack and Ship. I'll put the link or what it's called right in the chat. We have really great printed polymailers, and I kind of just do some branding for myself. But that's all extra. That's not necessarily what you need. Not
to start. You can start with the basics and then build up from there. Like things like your scale. Yeah. Your scale shouldn't be more than $15 or $20. Your printer. I mean, you can get a deal on them, but you're going to spend $100 to $150 on a good printer with paper and everything. Even if you get a thermal with the rolls. A tape gun is $10, $15. You shouldn't spend more than a couple $100 in supplies. And then as far as what to spend on working capital to begin, you and only you know how much money you have to put into inventory. Because remember, when you buy inventory, there's no guarantee on how long it's going to take to sell. So you have to remember that when buying inventory. So if you have $500 that you can basically burn, $500. If you have $5,000, it's totally up to you how much you start off with. But I would say a good goal, you can do a lot with $500. You can take $400 or $500 and turn it into a couple thousand in a month. So definitely, that's a good starting goal. If you have 1,000, that's great. Let's see. Any tricks to printing labels? 2 pages. Always have to have. Whoa, chat going too fast here. Always have to change it to 1 page. But how do you only use a half a page? Well, if you're using a regular printer, you would set it to, instead of the full-size page, there should be an option under the printing options where it shows it cut in 2, and then you could put two labels on 1 page. I may have to do a video about printing labels. I don't know. Make your printer go from portrait to landscape. Yeah, that works too. Brenda said, what are your best-selling items, Megan?
Definitely... when I go to a thrift store, I always look for sweaters and dresses. That's the first thing I go to because I feel like those are higher price items that you can get more for, even if I'm spending $5 or $6. And of course, Anthropologie and Free People are my top 2 sellers that I sell all day long.
Those are brands that until I saw probably 3 or 4 Megans and Nicole's and a few other people, I didn't even know they existed. Here in Florida, we just don't have those brands that much. I feel like if we do, I don't know about them. And I learned from them. And I was actually at the store the other day, and I was thinking about everybody, and I bought a brand out of a store that I normally would have never touched. So I definitely learned. I learned from these people too. So you guys should definitely, watch their Instagram, watch their YouTube. No, I don't use Terapeak. Desmond's asking about Terapeak. Terapeak's kind of a tool to search other people. I don't use it. People are asking what apps do we use for sourcing. I just use the eBay app and I look stuff up. I mean, it's pretty much, I don't use anything outside of that. What type of ties do I buy, and do I sell suits? This is a question for me because Megan doesn't do ties and suits. A lot of people don't understand why I do so many ties, but I literally sell like 1 or 2 ties a day. I buy all the ties that are reasonable and good shape, but the ones that sell the best for me are like J. Garcia ties sell really good. Polo ties sell pretty good. Calvin Klein ties sell good. Joseph A. Bank ties sell good. If you can find them, Hermes ties sell good. The Versace tie I sold for $49. The Hermes tie went for $60. A lot of my Joseph A. Bank ties get like $15 a piece or $14, best offers. Most of the Calvin Klein and Polo and Tommy Hilfigers are like the lower end. They're like $8-9. But my cost is only like 15-20 cents. So I don't sell suits. They're really heavy, really hard to ship, really expensive. I have sold a few. I sold an Agura suit for like $40. Any of that kind of stuff. Any of the name brands like Armani, if you can find it, that sells good. So.
Someone asked something about returns, and a lot of people might think because I'm a women's seller, I have a lot of returns. My returns are only 2%. So I do measurements for all my listings. It cuts out people asking me questions. I really don't want to have to go get the item out again. It takes me maybe 10-15 seconds to do my measurements. It doesn't really take that long. I take the measurements as I list. I don't do all the measurements and then list. I just do it as I go, which helps a lot. And I also take a picture of the fabric tag, which also cuts out a lot of questions. I just don't like questions. So when people like buyers, I just try to cut out as much as I can.
JR says, what measurements do you take? Well, that's different. For women's clothing would be a lot different than like the ones I take for neckties, I take the width and the length, but for women's clothing, it's going to be, I guess, the bust size and the waist.
Yeah, I do the bust and length, and then for men, I do chest and length.
Chest and length, yeah.
Yes.
Like on pants, of course, it's the waist. Always, that's a good tip on pants. I actually had a return. I sold a pair of Miss Me jeans that were supposed to be like a 32. They ended up being like a 31. Somebody had them professionally tailored, and they were an inch shorter, which is shocking because the buyer actually knew it. And I had no way to know because they had been professionally done, so it wasn't obvious that they had been tailored. I had no way to know that. So I sold them as the length that was on the tag, and it wasn't correct, and so they got returned. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but I knew it for the next time, and I listed them as professionally tailored with 31 instead of 32, even though the tag said 32. They sold, the person kept them, loved them. So it's important that you do measure, even though I don't that often, and sometimes it bites me in the butt, but I got to get better about that. I've been kind of lazy about it. Oh, God. Does Megan sell with free shipping? God, this topic has come up in the Instagram and YouTube and all over the community. Me and Steve talked about this, and I'm sure Megan has an opinion about it, but free shipping, yes, no, otherwise, what do you think?
I do. I've gone back and forth. Like, I'll change. I started out not doing free shipping originally when I first started. Then I did a month with free shipping. Then I went back to charging. For the holidays, for the most part, I am doing free shipping. I do about 100 auctions every Sunday, and I do charge shipping on my auctions.
That's such a good topic and a good question, because I'm up in the air about free shipping now. I've always done it because I thought it drove sales, and it probably does, but I feel like I'm losing out on a lot of money that I could be charging for shipping, because some people are getting the item cheap enough to begin with that even if I added shipping, they'd still be getting a really good deal on it. And it's just costing me $2 a listing. And if you're selling a couple hundred listings, a week, you're talking about $200 or $300 a week, $1,000 a month, or even $500 a month is a lot of money to just give away. We're also talking a question that wasn't asked, but I've been talking about and I've been asking everybody is the sales tax, making sure that you're charging sales tax for those buyers that are in your state, because every time you're selling an item, you're giving away $2 or $3, $1.50, $2 in sales tax. So something that everybody should set up if you don't have set up already. Megan, do you ship using your home address?
I do.
Yep. Guilty. My eBay account is also registered to a home address rather than a business address. If you're not comfortable with that, you can always get a P.O. box. And if the items are too big for the box, the USPS will hold them, and you can just go up and pick them up. A lot of you don't feel comfortable with that, so a PO box is fine. I believe here they're like $40 for a year, so they're really cheap. There's no problem with having your home address. Nobody's gonna fly to your house and beat you up over a $20 shirt, I don't think. So, yeah. Ultimate Coupon Lady, who's here all the time, thank you, says it doesn't matter if you charge shipping. If somebody wants your item, they're gonna buy it. That's really true because a lot of the items we sell are unique or individual. There isn't an exact copy of that item a lot of times on eBay, so it's not like they have 100 other sellers selling that item that they can go get it from. So, I think that's a really good. I think we all need to charge shipping. I think I'm learning my lesson quickly. Let's see what else. About your picture taking, your background, your fabric, your lighting, how you take good photos. Tell us about how you set that up.
Yeah, so I didn't have a background for a while. I was taking pictures in my backyard with the fence as my background. And I ordered some wood backdrops from Amazon in a group of 4 in case I want to switch up the wood or the texture of it. There's like 4 different variations. And there's a lot of different types of backgrounds that you can get on there. It's just paper. They're pretty cheap, and I think it makes a huge difference on the look of your listing and how it's presented.
I literally have seen, and I'm glad you pointed that out, a background. I was looking at an item the other day. I can't remember what it was, but there was a few of them for sale. They were active, and they were priced like $20, $22, $23. And then I went to completed to solds, and somebody sold one the day before, and the other ones were active at the same time. They sold it for $39. They were all in the same condition, all with free shipping, and they were all top-rated sellers. And the one that sold had this like it was like a cream grayish brick background with really bright lighting. You could tell how bright it was. And that one sold. And I'm telling you, it had to do with the pictures. Like the pictures over somebody else's, the person was willing to spend an extra $5 or $10, whatever it was they spent.
It definitely makes a difference.
Pulling an initial walk. Most smartphones have callback. People are talking about a stalker on eBay. That's crazy. If somebody ever stalked me on eBay, oh my God, I would go crazy. Pulling the initial PL. Oh my God. Been learning a lot since eBay opened. Sweet Deal Warehouse is here. Okay, so that was about your the lighting. You guys, I mean, this is all important. Like the titles, those keywords that we link, the lighting, everything, the photographs, it all makes a difference. Backgrounds. Now that you're up to like, $5,000 or $6,000 a month in sales, what do you think you're going to get to next? What is your next goals for like fourth quarter and then 2017?
I'm all about slow progression. I mean, I don't want to like overwork myself and have this huge jump in sales and then like kind of plateau. I'm totally fine with like slowly progressing, and my goal is just to keep increasing by $1,000 monthly. That is my goal, which I have been doing since I started full time.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because when you increase sales and purchasing, you increase everything. Your cost of materials, your storage room, everything goes up at the same time. So you have to make sure you don't overwhelm yourself all at once. I'm guilty of that when I went out and bought a ton of stuff all at once, and then we were bouncing around so much we couldn't get one thing done. But
my other goal as well is, I mean, I like my background now, but there is a different setup that I have in mind when I have a bigger space. And I do eventually want to hire a part-time model, because I feel like models, I could get higher I can get higher prices for things because you're kind of selling an image. I talked about this in a YouTube video I just uploaded, like future goals. You're not just selling an item, you're kind of selling an image too, and that's why background matters and lighting, and especially with women's clothing. I think if you style it a right way, you make it more desirable, and people are willing to pay a higher price for that.
Yeah, I actually am. The modeling side is I can't model clothes, sorry, but I think it's a great idea. I love the people that do. They're doing really well selling. I've seen a lot of the modeling, not just the backgrounds, but having a good background behind the model and then having a good model. There's somebody in my local area. I see her at my post office all the time. She owns a company called Whiskey Darling Clothing. I think it's called like Whiskey Darling Boutique or something. You can Google it. But she models every piece of clothing that she has. And she doesn't sell on eBay or Amazon that I know of, but she sells on a store and through social media marketing. And her modeling pictures get thousands of likes on Instagram and Facebook. And that's how she makes all her sales, from like a good background and then an amazing model. She has all different models of all different sizes and heights model her clothing. It's ridiculous how much she sells. Every day I'm in there and I see her at the post office, she has like 50 packages.
Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do. There's a few sellers who I follow who have models, and I feel like I also notice they sell less, but because they're getting higher price points, they don't have to sell as much, which
for sure
would be nice.
For sure. Yeah, that helps push your average price up. She's selling regular tank tops and t-shirts for like $29.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
The seller I'm talking about, who I follow, her average sell price is $64, which is insane. And it's all clothing.
Wow. That's a huge sale price. I can't even imagine having a $64 average. Like getting to a $20 average is tough enough, but
yeah, insane.
How do we handle health insurance? I'll take this one. I have private insurance. When you own a company, when you work for yourself, you have to get your own insurance. Mine is through Cigna. I got my insurance pre-Obamacare. Ever since Obamacare has come into play, it's gone through the roof. It's very expensive. My insurance, just to give you guys an idea, for a young, at the time I was 25 when I got it, so I probably had it like 5 or 6 years. I think it was right around like $180 a month. And that was really good coverage, like 80-90% coverage, dental visits, eye visits. I wear contacts, so I get like 50% off my contact costs, and I get my eye visits. That insurance, you can just go to any company and compare prices through Cigna or Blue Cross or Aflac. Any of those companies can give you a quote. But when Obamacare came out, it went through the roof, so it's probably going to be more. I'm still only at $200 a month, but I'm basically grandfathered. If I was to get the same plan today, it would be like $400 a month. So basically, I just get a plan, and they just bill me every month for it, and it's pretty much that simple. But when you are your own employee, you do have to provide your own insurance, and you are required by law as an employer, because even though you are your employee, you are now technically an employer. You have to have health insurance. You don't have a choice. So that's a very good question. But just search around, shop for health insurance. There's 10, 15 companies you can get a quote from, and you can get them online, and you can get it in like 10 minutes, literally. And Cigna doesn't require me to do like a health physical. I don't have to get stabbed. I don't have to go in. You just give them your health history. They pull your medical records. They check your age and your habits and all that stuff, and then you're done. So pretty quick. Kelly is here live. Thanks. Hey, Kelly, how are you? What is a good percentage to pay yourself, assuming you do not need to take an income? If you don't need the money, then definitely reinvest as much as possible. Pay yourself what you need and no more. But if you need as much of the money as you can, then just make sure you stick to a certain amount that you're going to reinvest. Pay the business bills and then reinvest. So GoDaddy bookkeeping. Yeah, Megan actually just stated that she is using GoDaddy. She's happy with it. I use QuickBooks.
It's probably the best decision I've ever made. Because honestly, when I wasn't making a lot of sales until 3 months ago when I started full time. And when you're just selling so much, it's just hard to be doing individual items or doing everything hand by hand. And it was taking up a lot of time, and eBay already takes up a lot of time. And it was time that I didn't want to be spending on accounting. And GoDaddy just puts everything. It even has reports for you. It's just amazing. I love it.
It's all automated. I have not used GoDaddy yet. I've watched YouTube videos on it. I'm considering it. If I do change over, I won't change until 2017. I don't want to confuse anything. But I'm definitely considering it because it seems like it has a lot of good features that would be important to me. There's nothing wrong with QuickBooks. QuickBooks is great. I've used it for like 2 years, maybe 3 years. The only thing I'm having an issue with changing to GoDaddy is the payroll. Payroll on QuickBooks is cheap, it's fast, and it's one click. So I have to work that out. But other than that, it looks like GoDaddy is a really great program. If you don't have an accounting program, I would suggest checking it out and probably getting it. So, yeah, the chat's been awesome. A lot of you guys have asked a lot of questions. David says,
thing with GoDaddy, if you have Honey, it's like a Google Chrome add-on. It'll give you a discount. It saved me like $30 when I was buying my GoDaddy. So
there you go. Good tip. do you have an amount you try to earn on each purchase, like a 3 times rule? No, I mean, there's a minimum profit that, you know, anybody wants to make. If you're paying a dollar or $2 for an item, you definitely want to try to make at least $10 on it if you can. You guys know I take profits of $6, so it just depends on whether you're a volume or if you're a one-man show, you probably want to try to target at least $10. I would say anything less than a $10 profit probably isn't worth your time. But that's just a general rule of thumb. I mean, you know how busy you are and how much you can, you know, how much time you have to list and ship.
I definitely think if I'm not doubling my money, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, doubling is a minimum. Like, I mean, if you're paying $1 or $2 for an item, though, I would say even more because you don't want to just spend $2 on an item and make $4. Like,
right.
I mean, that if we're talking smaller numbers, you need to make a higher thing for sure. But are there any drawbacks of working for yourself? Huh? God, I could go on forever about this. Yeah, you don't have anybody to blame but yourself. If you don't make enough money, you don't have anybody to blame but yourself. If you don't get enough work done, it's all you. Everything is you when you're a one-person show. I have been a one-man show. I've worked for myself years ago. It's been 4 or 5 years. But, yeah, I mean, you have to do it all yourself. You can't rely on anyone. There's no paycheck on Friday. Your paycheck is when you get up, do the work, get it listed, and stuff sells. So, you know, there are a lot of drawbacks. You're going to have to put more time in. You're going to work 12, 14, 16 hours a day. You're going to have to get up on days when you're sick because no one else is going to do it for you. You can't just call out and get vacation time. You can't take a vacation whenever you want. You know, you don't have somebody to run your store for you. So there's a lot of downside to it, but there's a lot of upside to it. I don't know. What's the downside of being a one-man show? It's been a while since I've been there.
Well, for me, you know, it's just, you know, you always have that downtime between when you go to a work and then when you leave, it's over. But when you're running your own business, it's never over. Like, you're just always thinking about it. And with eBay, I can never shut it off. Like, I wake up to best offers at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It's like, that's my life now. And I mean, I love it. I wouldn't take it over anything else, but it just never stops, basically.
Yeah, you can't leave it at the office. You can't leave it at Red Robin. You can't leave it at wherever it is you work. You have to take it home, or it's at your home. And that's part of the problem with buying more inventory is it overtakes your home, your space, and it doesn't feel like your home anymore, which is kind of what I'm guilty of. And when you can't separate home and work, even from one bedroom to the next, you got to expand, and then it ends up costing more money and expenses. You have to work when you're sick. You know, there's a ton of things that working for yourself includes. Some people just can't do it. Some people, you know, they're built for it. I'm built for that stuff. I can't work for somebody else.
Yeah.
The upside is driving a BMW i8. That's not an upside, I assure you. That is not an upside. That is a huge bill. What tips for staying motivated when you are down and out or sick or any of that stuff?
I would just say, like, take a me day or just do little things to focus on yourself or do something that you enjoy. I don't know. Just breathe. Just remember to breathe, even if you get, you know, weird messages from a buyer. Like, I've gotten a few this week. You know, just take a breather. Like, sometimes I won't respond until the next day, just so I'm not angry. Because, like, you know, you read it initially, and sometimes you don't want your emotion to take over running a business.
Yeah, I used to be terrible at just blasting people on like if they sent me a dumb message or like $1 best offer, I used to just go off on them. Like, I would just write back like the same ridiculous message. So yeah, you definitely got to be calm. You got to be collected. You got to think about the business first and not your emotion, because otherwise you'll get worked up. There are some real, and excuse my language, there's some real idiots on eBay. Like, I woke up this morning to 24 offers on items over $20 for $1 per item. Somebody took the time to send me 24 offers of $1 each. I wanted to decline every one and write like the worst messages in them, but I just politely declined, left it at that. So you could definitely get worked up over it. Is full-time without the bin stores possible? Woo! That is a good question.
I definitely think it is. I mean, you would definitely have to work really hard on figuring out sell days and planning out trips more, on what your schedule is going to be like. it would be a little bit harder, definitely, but
Oh
it's
yeah, absolutely.
kind of possible.
You would either have to get like expert level on clothing, or you would have to shy away from clothing. I know some sellers that don't do much clothing. They focus on toys and games and small electronics and video games, like I do. They're out in Texas as well. Go figure. And so they don't do a lot of clothing, and they run full time. And then I know some FBA sellers. I've mentioned them in my my videos before, that do importing from Alibaba and just sell full time that way. So it would be tough to be a clothes seller without the bin store. At least the only other way that you could do it is if you learned how to buy liquidations, like the Walmart or the Macy's or the JCPenney pallets, where you buy them for like $1,000 for a pallet. You bring it all in, and then you have to list it, that way, like customer returns and whatnot. But it can be done, but it's a little bit more work and a lot more, probably a lot more capital as well. We're full-time with no bins. Travis, I would love to hear about how you are full-time with no bins. But yeah, so that's a little bit more about hopefully how you guys can be a little more successful listing items, getting them to the top of search rankings, getting more money out of them. Megan's got an awesome price per average at $26 to $28. That's phenomenal. When you start getting into the $30 range, you are doing something, no doubt about it. I guess that's my future goals, eBay goals. David DePristo says, need big money to do that. Yeah, to buy bulk deals, you need big money. If you have the capital, it's a good route to go. But it's not as easy as the bins, for sure. Definitely not. You could do Craigslist, all that stuff. So Shaggins did an Amazon return pallet. Amazon does sell a lot of. Amazon sells material when an FBA seller has it stored at their warehouse, and the FBA seller goes out of business. They sell that merchandise off. It's pretty good. Some of them are expensive. Some are like $1,000 to $1,500. Some are like $400 or $500. Brandon needs to get into more live videos. Yes, please, guys, make sure to watch live videos. I'm gonna have Megan back on the live videos again soon in the future, especially after fourth quarter. I want to see how her fourth quarter goes, because right now it looks like it's going to go through the roof. Fridays is Q&A Fridays, of course. That's tomorrow. I'll be on again. I want to do 2 live videos a week. So, and then, of course, if you didn't hear, Megan's YouTube is down in the description box along with her Instagram. Make sure to go follow her, like her Instagram. You'll learn a lot of material and a lot of merchandise. We're only going to share her Instagram and YouTube right now. For other reasons, we won't share anything else. But you guys can learn a ton from both her Instagram and YouTube. So make sure you check that out. She does haul videos. She does fashion videos about how to learn about this fashion, how to learn what she knows. If you haven't seen any of her videos, go check them out now, and then she'll have more up in the coming future. So make sure you check all that out. John, tomorrow's show is Q&A Friday. I do questions and answers every Friday. Veggie Picker, Casey and Megan. Veggie Picker, I think you'll be friends with Megan. She is, yes, she'll be your friend. But all the other questions, a lot of the questions I see coming through have been answered in the video. If you didn't get the answer, rewatch the video. You'll get it. No, Shaggins, Casey, I am in, oh, she's asking a Cassie, I'm sorry. I'm in Florida. Megan's in California. Kelly, you can leave us in the comment section questions, and I'll have Megan read them or answer for you. But
if you guys have any other questions for me, just you can put them in the chat right now, and I'll try to answer them really quick.
Yeah, you can leave them in the chat, or you can leave them on her Instagram. There's a couple different ways you can contact her, but she'll read the chat because she can. She has it open right now. If you want to, just leave your email address, and I can email you as well if I have the answer to it. So, JP Workshops, I have bought a pallet. I'll answer you. Leave me an email, and I'll send you an email how it goes. But there's quite a few that I bought actually. So, all right, so we're gonna wrap it there. It's 10 o'clock, and it's 7 o'clock on her coast. So we're gonna get back to work. She has work to do. I have work to do. We appreciate everybody coming in. We hit almost 200 viewers. That's awesome. So thanks everybody for being here. If you didn't like the video, please like it. We're at 98 likes, so we'll get there pretty quick. Kelly just wanted to know real quick before we go. Kelly's one of my best viewers. I love her to death. Do you pay taxes on your personal items? No. If it's a personal item you're reselling, it is a loss. You do not owe taxes on it. It's a depreciated item. So yep, Brandon, Q&A Friday tomorrow night, and I don't know when Megan's posting videos, but she has a newer video on her channel. Go check it out. Make sure you guys check it out. We are going to go. Thanks again, guys. Have a wonderful night, and leave us questions. Say bye, Megan. That's the point you say bye.
Oh, I said it. Oh,
oh
okay.
She didn't pop up.
Thank you for watching.
See you guys.